You know me as Dragonmar, and welcome to a new video. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm a Valorant content creator slash coach who solo queued your Radiant back in episode 1, act 3 with Omen, and now I want to help you guys do the same. Alright guys, today's video is a little special. I'm announcing my return to coaching, as well as doing my first ever live coaching session for a YouTube video. And as you guys can see, I am going to be coaching off of the platform Metafy. My link is metafy.gg/@Dragonmar. It's just my name. And what's really cool about this is that I'm not going to set my profile to go live until about an hour after this video goes live. What you guys can do is you can come onto Metafy at my link. You can vouch for me as an expert, say something nice about me, how I've helped you, and three of you are going to be selected to randomly receive free coaching sessions from me, which I think is awesome. So if you guys are interested, head over to my link, leave a vouch, and who knows, you might get selected. Now, if you just want coaching in general, like I said, this is my announcement that I'm returning to coaching as well. You can use code Dragonmar-Spring20 for 20% off. I want to make sure anyone who wants coaching can get it at a relatively affordable price. So if you guys are interested, I'm back into coaching. I'm super happy to announce that, and you can find all of the information out that you want at metafy.gg, and I hope to see you guys there. With that being said, let's jump into my first ever live coaching video. And guys, now we're going to jump into the coaching session. I'm here with Angzy. So Angzy is an Omen player who was bronze last act, got all the way up to silver, and now is in silver 2, and this is currently his D rank game. So we have a lot going on. Angzy, if you want to say hi to everyone, go ahead.
Hello, YouTube.
And Angzy, I know we were just talking about it, but what were some of the things that you were looking to work on?
I'm looking to work on my positioning, especially during fights and when I'm smoking, because sometimes I tend to smoke out in the open, and sometimes I play passively both on attack and defense, resulting in lack of trades, lack of space taken on the site, and on defense lack of space taken, even though the enemies aren't doing much at the time. And I also tend to panic when taking a fight because it's either a do or die situation, and I kind of end up displacing my crosshair placement, rushing shots, which is
very common,
not what I want.
Very common things, guys,
to end clean and fast.
Perfect. All right, Angzy, well, let's see what we can do for you today. Okay,
all
right, good luck in your game.
Thank you.
And guys, jumping into the second round. So again, going for the Spectre buy. You guys know me. I'm always going to recommend buying Spectre second round. If you guys win pistol, go for the buy, get shields, and go for that win on the second round. I hate when people buy pistols or stick on pistols during that second round after a win. Way more. It's just so much better just to go for the buy. Really secure that round. A little risky there on the teleport, I will say. I don't think he needed to do that. But with the positioning of his team, maybe he felt confident in it.
Careful now, it's a buy round for them, so I have to be extra careful.
Yeah, this is a big round. This is a round where you're looking to do as much damage as you can. All right, so going for the smokes. He's going to be smoking rafters, so that rafter smoke, a little bit dangerous. I'm going to talk to him about that. Because see how that Reyna just walked through? You guys see on the minimap here? See up there on the minimap how that Reyna walked through? Now, Reyna does go down, which is good, but that smoke gets a lot of people killed. You have to make sure your team understands that they can walk through like that. A lot of the times when you're doing a smoke with Omen, it comes with a trade-off, because it's very easy for the enemy to walk through them, pop flash out. You got to be careful with that kind of thing whenever you're playing Omen. A little bit more difficult when you're playing a Brim, or a little better for you when you're playing a Brim, because it's just harder for them to get through the smokes. Okay, 3v3 post plant. Flank should be covered by Killjoy, so we're looking good. If you look at the minimap, see how Killjoy is going to pick up that kill. And then we've got both Skye and Omen here playing on site. So right now he should be holding a crossfire. He is. The Skye is probably going to make contact first. That's crazy, by the way. Someone just tapped that spike behind. Oh, nice shots. There was some really nice shots right there.
Thank you.
That was a really good round, right? You guys won bonus, and you played that really well. You know, you had Killjoy covering your flank. You were kind of holding a crossfire with Skye. The only problem is that player was able just to walk up to that spike, right? So you gotta be careful with that. And guys, the reason I said to be careful with that is because with holding a crossfire, you can't have a flank exposed with no one covering it. And in that round, my guess is maybe they had assumed Killjoy was going to be covering that wrap around site, and the Killjoy just wasn't, right? And that's very dangerous. That's how you lose these type of rounds, when it's just these small little oversights and it's like, how do we get flanked? You know what I mean? Gotta be really careful. So 3v3 again. Okay, gonna be going for the Reyna.
Yikes.
Yeah, just the aim not connecting there on those shots. Teammates are gonna be able to finish. Good communication here, letting his team know what's happening.
Hold on, I'll blind him. If you start defusing, I'll blind him.
This is smart. I'm not gonna say anything to him. I'm just gonna let him play. But this is smart here. Killjoy also putting up a turret, very smart. There's contact. He knows it's a little bit to the left. He's gonna go for the flash. Probably could have held back. Honestly, he doesn't have to play this close on yellow. He could just hold back and actually play for the spike defuse or the Reyna pushes. I'll kind of tell him about that right now. All right, so I think that play was really good overall. One thing I'll say to you is that when you're holding that paranoia, you could actually back up. You could back up to the back of yellow there, just so you're not so exposed, because if somehow he wide swings and dodges it, chance he kills you, right? But if you're playing for that tap or for him to push, you could probably back up a little bit more there, just so you're not quite in a dangerous position. But overall, that was a good round.
I was kind of exposed, right?
Exactly, yeah, and you want to just back up a little bit more. That way you're a little less exposed. You can play behind yellow more, and then it really forces him either to push you or to commit to that spike defuse, yeah.
Okay. He went up to
There's paranoia, so calling it as paranoia. Problem is, guys, smokes are gone. Right? Smokes are gone. This execute just took too long.
Yikes.
Alright. Angsy, do you know what happened on that round? You know what happened on that?
I kind of panicked and...
No, not even just you. What happened, like, teamwork-wise?
I don't know.
You guys just didn't execute fast enough, right? Your smokes were gone by the time you were really making contact there. So really important, if you're going to put those smokes down, make sure your team is going to follow up on that, right? And make sure you're in position to follow up, because you have to take that space, you know what I mean? You can't just smoke, let it fade, and then all of that pressure is gone. Okay, guys, moving into round 7 here, we're going to see another sort of mid attack. We did see this last round. As you're going to see, full pressure in mid and no utility holding the flanks, okay? No utility holding the flanks. A little risky here, so hopefully we don't see an A flank, which would be my guess of what happens. Let's see what happens here. And it was a B flank. Oh man, you hate to see it. Looks like Neon was able to get through, but Neon does get traded, and then the fight close range there. Oh. And
yeah, that was not a good shot.
Yeah, so Angsy, do you see all right, what do you think happened on that round? I want to ask him first.
Spike a check for belt, and then I didn't ask a teammate to come with me. I think that was like a major problem, so I can get traded. And now they're both detained. They're
both detained. But listen, okay. So the thing is, when you guys are going to pressure mid like that, you have to have something holding your flanks, right? Because you either need to go fast enough to escape those flankers, right? Or you have like a Killjoy turret or something behind you holding that, because you got flanked by the Neon first, and then they also had full control of A, right? Yeah. So they knew you weren't B, they knew you weren't A, they knew you were all mid, right? And that's why
just kind of pincered us.
Yeah, you have to go faster. So, you know, as the Omen, you know, that's kind of part of your role, is to take note of those type of things, you know what I mean? And like relay that to the team, like, hey, like, we don't have any holding our flanks, we got to go fast here. Or you just tell the Killjoy to put her utility up. All right, right there, guys. As you saw, I just said that to him, tells his teammate to do it, and look at that. Boom, turret down. That's exactly what we're talking about, right? Good communication. You know what I mean? And now they know if someone's going to be pushing their flank, right? I don't know what that Killjoy was planning on using her turret for. But regardless, I think that's way more valuable than essentially any other turret you're going to place on site. So I love that right there. That was good comms. All right, let's watch the fight here. Really nice correction on that shot. You're going to notice he's kind of bursting with the Bulldog, even out of the right click. Looks really good. One thing I did notice when I looked at Angsy's stats is that he has really nice overall kill participation and really decent headshot percentage for a silver. I don't think his aim is his problem, and in my guess is from watching him so far is that he's probably going to hit gold this act, right? Ooh, okay, starting this round off with actually a really nice kill. And again, think about what's happening, right? Why is Angsy able to get these kills? This guy is playing the same spot, or someone's been playing that spot a lot, so he kind of expects it, right? Now, are they going to lose some teammates here on this entry into site? Yes, but it's 3v3. Let's take a quick look here. Looking at sort of the positioning of the team. 2 players pushing in. Sky has backed off completely. Killjoy backed off completely as well. They could. So that's the calm I was waiting for right there. Is holding. So what we actually probably want to do here is what could be really fun is Angsy could actually take Spike and teleport to A. I'm not going to say that to him because I kind of want his teammates to stick together. And it's one of those things where you have to be comfortable with planting on a site and potentially taking a 1v1 as well. So I'm not going to like force that onto him for him to do that. All right, taking a quick look at the setup here. Sage actually going to come through and go down. So Sage just going to blind push a smoke. I don't know why. That was a really bad play by her. Should get out of here, and he does. So this is smart. Now you can play purely for post plant. This has been a great round from Angsy so far. Let's see what happens here at the end. Oh, no reason to take those aim duels. So right there, just no reason to take that fight, right? Yeah. You know, you get a little confident. You got 3 kills in the round. Things are going good. Just live. You know what I mean? Just live, or play with your paranoia if you want to, right? Yeah. That guy really didn't have a chance of winning that round. You know. Yeah. Just has to value his life. That Killjoy needed to live here because he had his ultimate. Could have flanked behind. Oh my gosh, that was a really nice shot here. A 1v1.
I didn't. Yeah, I should have been checking that.
I think maybe what you could have done, you could have tried jump peeking the corner. I don't know if you jump peek often, but yeah, what I'll say about jump peeking is sometimes like they'll still shoot you when you're that low. It's kind of, you know, risky. Who knows if they're gonna hit you. So it might be better just to swing that and look for the fight. Yeah. All right, Angsy doing a good job here communicating with his team. You'll love to see it, right? He's asking for what the plan is. Perfect. That's what you want to do in these games, guys. I mean, you want to ask your teammates what you guys are doing. I think maybe here he could look for a TP on top of Tube. Oh, looks like Raze is going to take that position. Someone generally wants to take that spot. Gives a nice kind of like high ground angle for different types of peaks with your teammates. But right here, they're all getting stuck. Again, everyone together. And he's going to split off solo.
I think one's mid.
It's a tough one. He probably shouldn't have split solo there.
Going into the tube.
Yeah, if you're going to push tube like that, you need to have it smoked off. Like something they can't have vision of you pushing under if you're not also going to be like holding that angle as well. You know what I mean? Because in that situation, no chance for you to fight back, and like, you know, you're dead for nothing pretty much. All right, guys. So jumping into the second half, overall, I don't know about you guys, but I think he's playing pretty well. Kind of the main takeaways I have is that I think that he just needs to make sure that he's getting a little more value out of his smokes, and that when he does smoke, his team and him are taking those positions and really getting all right, early calm here. He's hearing a spray A. That's what you want to do. You know, any sort of audio cue that you guys hear, you want to make a calm off of it, right? Because that's really important. That tells your team that, hey, there's players over here, right? And this round, you know, gonna go down to the Reyna. You know, it was a shorty die, lost pistol, not a big deal.
With the classic?
No, I don't think he did anything wrong in this round. I think that's just how, like, sometimes it's gonna go. If the Reyna's gonna full buy, you have a shorty, you know, you're trying to play close there. Maybe you could have played a little bit closer to the entrance, just so you make sure you can get the damage. You were a little far back, but overall, I don't think you did anything wrong in there. That's just unfortunate. All right, guys, so as we move into this round here, as we're seeing, both Angsy and his Raze are over on B. Teammates fighting over on A. Looks like they're doing pretty well here. So let's see what this sort of kind of retake looks like. Now, Raze going on the flank is really nice here because that gives them 2 angles of attack. So they're holding both sight and flank. No idea what Raze just did there. But Raze is now dead. So now it's a 2v3. Make that a 1v3. So let's see what Angsy does here. The other team realistically should back up. Oh.
No.
I think he stopped shooting.
Yeah, I think I stopped shooting too early.
You stopped shooting, yeah. Yeah, Angsy, I mean, you had that. That was the right play. You held the angle, you dodged the flashes. You just got to finish that kill, you know what I mean?
My brain was just like...
He had that one. That was a kill for sure. Look to calm your paranoia here.
Alright. When they come through, I'll paranoia them.
Alright, so right there, I told him to calm his paranoia.
Swung out.
It worked well. He nearsighted one. The problem is these guys have superior guns. They're taking these ranged duels a little bit better for them, obviously. But overall, whenever you guys playing Omen, you want to calm your paranoia. You want to let your team know. Yeah, that's kind of what I was wondering last round, is like what the buy situation. If your team is buying, you have to buy though. You just buy with them. If they're going Vandals here, it's fine. Just go Spectre. Spectre's still fine. Just try to play close. You know what I mean? Play close to them. So guys, right there, I was just telling Angsy that, like, if your teammates are buying in a game, even if it doesn't make sense. Now, in this case, I think that he probably should not have bought last round, but all of his team was. it's just one of those things. You got to buy with your team. You got to buy with your team. If your teammates has Vandals, get a Spectre. Do not play with a Classic in a round where your team has guns, because that's how the economy gets all messed up. Now here, teammates again are just going to lose this round. KJ's ulting as well late.
Like they're kind of getting the momentum.
Yeah, I think it's fallen apart a little bit. I'd like to see you play on A, honestly. I think it's time to just sit on A. Use your smokes to try to delay the pushes a bit, okay?
Yeah. Thing is, I'm kind of paranoid is that the moment I go to one side, they're going to go the next, which is kind of why I opted to go B for a good bit.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, essentially the way you got to look at it is that if these guys are taking A this easily, then maybe you just play B for retake. You know what I mean? Like you can't have everything. And I know what you mean, because a lot of people feel that way. It's like, you know, when the one time I'm not on this site, they're gonna come here, right? But at the same time, you gotta support where your team is weak, and your team is a little bit weak on A. It looks like.
You know, we'll watch them go B this time. I think I could have. Yeah.
All right, guys, so moving into round 18, I told Angzy just to play A with his team. This is where they're attacking a lot, and he was worried that they were going to be able to get through, you know, to B on the one round he comes A. Look at this, 3K off the start of the round with a judge. KJ going for an ult.
She's at 80. She's at 80.
I don't love that peak, because with KJ's ult down, he actually just wants to kind of try to live here.
There's a judge on my body.
I'll explain this to him right now. So Angzy, I think right there, a little bit too aggro on the Neon.
Yeah.
Everything else was good. You had the ult. Let that Neon make a mistake instead of just going for that kind of like 1v1 duel. Yeah, essentially you just can't, like, in a situation where that enemy is forced to move because of the KJ ult, like, you don't really want to take an aim duel when you have a judge against rifles, right? And like, you kind of just got too aggressive. Imagine if you would have been alive. You pick up a Vandal, they all get pushed out, or a Phantom or whatever. Yeah, and you play with your teammate. Now, you know, the KJ has to clutch this, right?
Against an up. Fortunate.
Again, yeah, and it's one of those things where it's all about how aggressive should you be. Now, early in that round, I mean, you popped off. You got 3 kills, right? You literally could not have done better. I mean, that's exactly what you want to do. However, after that is where it kind of fell apart, right? No, that's just decision making. No, that's just understanding that situation and being like, hey, I have to live here. I'm going to let this Neon run.
Yeah, because like the clock was ticking for the ult there.
Exactly. The clock was ticking. You play off of that. You grab a better gun, and then you play for that rest of the round with, you know, alive.
Now I could smoke off my KJ from the up, and now it's just gonna die to it. He's gonna be playing belt for sure.
What is this KJ doing?
Oh, not belt. Well, it's okay. Good try.
Your KJ should have like mollied that or something. Right there, like the KJ taps it and then mollies and then goes from there, because that guy was playing a bad angle for that actually.
Yeah. It's okay, we can come back. We just gotta play smarter. Like, we almost had that. We need to keep up that performance. I think maybe we could have 3A and 2. No, I don't know actually, because I'm just worried they'll switch sites. Okay. Alright. Fetch me the souls. Alright
guys, let's look at the setup here. Looks like Ray's pushing off of the Sky ult, and with 4 players playing on A. So right now B super exposed, nothing over there to like defend against any push, but the enemies is coming over here. Okay, players all around him right now. Needs to reposition here for sure.
We have spikes.
Neon is back site. Okay, good. I was gonna say something if he didn't notice that, but he did notice.
Left side.
I was actually thinking that as I was watching, you definitely felt like you didn't know where to position yourself on that round, because they were coming in from everywhere, right? And that's one of those times where you just want to like back up and like get into like a safe area, because like you said, they could have been above you. The Neon actually got behind you and it took you a second to notice. So just all right, so right here guys, it looks like they're going to be pushing B. Now Angzy wasn't in a position to get a trade there. Ooh. Oh, just a little bit.
That was bad. I panicked there so hard.
Yeah, that was not a good play.
That went a bit late.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, like your teammate also dies before you can get a trade, like the neon able to get behind you and then you kind of whiff the shots. It's one of those things where like you just need to maybe be a little bit more prepared to play off of like your teammates' positions as well. Just maybe see if you could have gotten a trade there or something. But then also, you know, you just kind of whiffed on that neon as well. When the enemy team pushes into B, they'll do something really stupid. Like they'll just run along the edge here coming off of yellow and you just get a free headshot on them, right? And you're playing a bit more passive. I think there you actually want to be a bit more aggressive and see if you can get a pick. Now, don't overexpose yourself, but you know, look for that ability. I think you probably could have killed that neon had you stayed up top, right? What I was just explaining to Angsy about that last round is that I think his positioning was a little bit off, and I think he could have gone for a more aggressive peek to look to kill someone as they're entering into sight. One of the best times that you can get a free pick on someone is as they're running into sight. You know, they kind of think things are safe, they get their guard down, they're looking at a ton of different angles. Easy headshot, you back up, and then you play with your team, right? And in that round, he kind of was just staring at a wall, he fell back, and then couldn't really get anything off of it. So guys, 9-12 right now, and Raze is pushing up, Angsy kind of holding back here, and I just don't know, like, he needs to tell that Raze not to do that. He should not push this.
Oh, damn.
Too aggressive.
Yeah, that was 100% my fault. Should have waited for my team there, I think.
Yeah, that was a little too much, right? Last round, I was telling you want to look for maybe an aggressive peek, but not overexpose yourself. Can't be going for those like shrouded step plays, especially not on match point. And remember, not only did you go for that play, but you also teleported into a spot with no cover, right? So like they could have literally been anywhere, and you were just exposed to every angle, unless you blinded all of them, and there was just no way you did, right?
The thing is,
so that play was too aggro. Yeah, you definitely just gotta look for ways to like make a higher probability of it working. I think right there, that was a pretty low probability one. Like when the second you did that, I was like, nope, no way this works, right? Yeah. And you know, sometimes it will, but like it's all about how you do it and where you do it. So that's something I think we'll talk about here in a second. All right, guys, so that's the end of the game. Unfortunately, Angsy is gonna lose here, but I think there's some things that we can help him with. Let's see how he feels about the game. All right, Angsy, so tell us a little bit, how do you feel like, you know, that game kind of went? Started off, I think, a little strong and kind of ended on a rough note there.
Yeah, we started out well on attacking. We got like a lot of good rounds. Like there were some rounds where they had no idea what.
Looks like 7 rounds, right? 7 rounds on attack.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 7 rounds. And then we could barely get any on defense.
And I think that, you know, one of the things that I saw, right, is you definitely need to work on your positioning, right? Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest thing holding you back.
Yeah, it's really weak. And
yeah, it's not just that it's weak, right? I think that, you remember that round where you told me you felt lost?
Yeah, that round where the neon came onto sight and I was just standing in the middle of
it's just in the middle of nowhere, right? Like you were like next to the headshot box, right? And it's just one of those things where like there was a few rounds, I think, where you could have made a play, but like you were saying, you played a little too passive, and your positioning is what's forcing kind of you not to be able to make the right plays because you're not in the right spot to take the right peek, you know? It's one of those errors that kind of compounds itself, right? It's like bad positioning also leads to like overly passive play. You just have to have confidence in your peaks as well as positioning, right? When you're swinging an angle, I cannot watch you, you know, stop shooting that breach again, okay? You got to finish that kill, you know what I mean? Because that was a round where who knows what happens if you finish that kill, right?
Yeah,
I mean, who knows? And by the way, also, I think you have good comms, right? I really do. For your rank, very, very good. I think that's going to carry you so much further than you probably realize. But it's definitely, it's the positioning. Yeah, and being too passive. And I think that looking for that little chance to get a headshot as someone runs into a site, especially on B there, you could have done that. I think that, you know, also don't be afraid to stack sites. I know you said it, but, you know, we talked about it. How can you have more impact, right? Because it didn't really feel like you had too much impact. You got to be where the action is. Yeah, gotta be where the action. Yeah, and that's the final thing I'll say though. Yeah. Be very careful with those shrouded step plays. You need to make sure if you're gonna do it that you're like going into a corner somewhere. It's all about eliminating the amount of angles that can see you do it, because they did not react very fast on any of those, right? There's definitely ways for you to make those plays. Just be very careful about where you teleport to, okay?
I will.
Yeah, I think that one thing you can do when you feel like you're panicking on kills is like before you take a fight, like I always like try to take a deep breath and just like focus on like the fact that I am gonna fight someone. I gotta aim for the head, you know what I mean? And then I just swing that corner expecting to take a fight, right? Always expecting, always pre-aiming the right angles is a big step, and expecting someone to be there. One of the reasons that people get caught off guard so much is because when they swing a corner, they don't expect someone to be there, right? And then they panic, and then they're like, oh, you know, then they start shooting the body, they miss their first shots, you know, everything goes awry after that, right? And it's all about expecting the players to be there as you peak those angles. And I think that helps a lot. And then like positioning wise, what I would say to you is you're gonna want to find ways to be more aggressive early in rounds. So whether it's just getting info or maybe using one-way smokes, that's something I think that can benefit you a lot. And part of the way you can get more impact with Omen is by one-waying things, because it applies pressure to them, maybe gets you a few free kills off of it, and denies their vision, right? Those are huge things. All right, my friend, I think that's where we're gonna end it for this video. Thanks so much for being a part of this, and I hope you feel like, you know, you learned a thing or two.
I did, thank you.
All right, I appreciate it. All right, guys, that's where we're gonna end the first live coaching session. Big shout out to Angzy again for being willing to do this, for putting himself out there. It was really hard to like focus on talking to Angzy, talking to you guys, and also like focusing on, you know, everything going on in the game, but it was a ton of fun to do. Obviously in private coaching sessions, it's way easier for me to focus, but I think there was a lot to learn from this, and I'm gonna send Angzy actually a Word doc of all the things I think he can improve on, how he can fix them, and all that kind of stuff. So again, if you guys enjoy this type of video, I would love to know. Leave a comment and let me know, and I'll see if I can make more coaching videos like this. With that being said, you guys know I'm coaching again, starting on Metafy right now, so I'll hopefully see some of you guys there. All right, that's it for this video. I'll see you next time. Take it easy, and peace.